Hi, welcome to WMD. That's Woody's Modelling Diary. And we're having a look at something you haven't seen before, which is a layout I started building, I'm afraid to say 25 years ago, and I'm still working on it now. Originally it was going to be a 6-month project, but in my inevitable way it has expanded, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it is probably a layout which I've actually got to a stage where it's reasonably complete. So what have we got here? It's basically a town terminus, supposed to be a sort of suburban line, either on the outskirts of a city or serving a sort of market town. Let's just take you in a little bit closer, just show you what we've got. You'll have to excuse the rubbish. So we've got a Metcalfe station building there. We've got 4 Airfix canopies, platform canopies joined together. Unfortunately they've warped over the years, so I've got to do something about that, plus remove 1 or 2 stains off them. But basically, if I come round here, try not to give anybody dizziness through rapid movements, we've got a sort of central platform, and we've got a bay platform, the main sort of platform itself, a sort of stub end which will take a single rail car, and a bit of a exchange siding for goods. And as we come down past the Metcalfe warehouse kit, which I sort of elongated rather than it being square, I just opened it out. We've got a bit of a parcels depot. That building I scratch built some years ago, and there's a Metcalfe, or the back end of a Metcalfe signal box, and then we've got a cement works down there with a couple of sidings in, the inevitable road bridge, and this is where it gets really untidy and not finished off, but this goes into the fiddle yard, which is basically a 5-road fiddle yard with the very handy Pico 3-way point, which enables you to sort of get 3 lines into the space which would only fit 1 point, so you've sort of increased your fiddle yard length. And the fiddle yard is capable of taking a loco and 3 coaches on the main sort of longest route, 2-car DMU at the back, 3-car DMU on the siding between those 2, and the 2 front sidings. We can do various things with parcels and goods. So that's it in a nutshell. The silos at the cement factory, they're Hornby Scaledale. They were at an opportune price, so I decided to get those to save me some hassle scratch building, and probably a far better job than I could do. Again, we've got a 3-way point there, which is very convenient for dealing with compact spaces. So if you have issues in trying to fit a number of sidings in, consider using a 3-way point. They really do open up the sort of ability to get more into less. So that's it basically in a nutshell. Control wise, I run it off analog. It's one of these Gagemaster Combi controllers, which are really good. Suit this layout fine, because we've also got an output for capacitor discharge unit, which operates the point. The point's operated on a probe, stud and probes. So I think you can. So it's old school analog, as it were, which suits me fine. I've never really given this a name, but Gailston is one of the names which has featured in the back of my mind. You can't go too wrong if you can include your wife's name into a layout. So let's have a look at a few trains running, and see what we can do with operational wise, because this is quite an interesting little layout. Oh, and just before I do forget, for those who are always interested in such matters, the dimensions are, it is 9 foot long along this way. Along the fiddle yard length it's 7 foot. I think the fiddle yard is 8 inches wide, and the rest of the layout, apart from the corner bit, is 1 foot wide. Just remind myself of this little bit. Originally the layout was up to this point with the fiddle yard that side. With the advent of a little bit of space, I did extend. So that's one of those problems we have as modelers. As soon as we have a little bit of space, we do tend to expand into it. So, but anyway, for a 9 foot by 7 foot layout, it fits on the wall, it sort of fits out of the way, and it does give you a fair amount of operational capability. And talking of which, I'll now shut up and let's see some trains run. The great thing about DMUs is that you can drive them in and you can drive them out without having to take the loco around the other side. We've got this 3 coach passenger train come in with the Class 25 running it. It's going to go out, so we're going to have to run around the train. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is, because I've got the DMU in the bay platform, I'm going to isolate that. And I'm going to turn on the sections again which power up the track where the 25's got to go. So next stage is to reverse it to just beyond the crossing, uncouple the coaches, and then get it to run round. The great thing about these Bachmann Class 25s is they are superb runners. If you can avoid the very early Bachmann models where they had the plastic grab handles either side of the cab doors, those plastic handles never quite looked right and they bent. Go for the later one with the metal handrails. The mechanisms are just superb. Right, I'm going to uncouple the loco from the coaches. I've got the standard tension couplings, so I use this, which is basically a big biro sort of body with a piece of plastic card just glued to the bottom, and basically you just slide it between the two, lift up, and I'm just going to be a bit lazy and just uncouple that way. And that's the two uncoupled. So the next stage is to pull the Class 25 back away from the coaches to get clear of the point so that it can run round. So with that done, let's set the points. And let's see if we can run round. Right, let's set the points. And let's see if we can get this Class 25 to back onto this train. Would help if we got the right direction. Nice and easy. It's a passenger train, so we don't want to jolt everything around. Let's just reverse it into the platform. And there she is, ready to go out on the next trip. Right, we're going to take the DMU out and then the Class 25 can go. But just before I do that, I've noticed there's quite a bit of dust around. Mrs. Woody wouldn't find my dusting abilities too good. But I do have a secret weapon. This was purloined from Mrs. Woody's dressing table, a Boots No. 7 makeup brush, which is absolutely ideal just to take the dust off. Just hope she doesn't watch this, otherwise this may be about to disappear back from our railway onto her dressing table. But anyway, get yourself one of those. I'm sure they're readily available, either on your partner or wife's dressing table, or indeed you may want to just purchase one from Boots itself. Other retailers are available. Right, let's get this DMU out of the way. So we've got to change the points. And let's just get it out. Just got to make sure the points are fine for the fiddle yard, which they are. So let's get this out. It would help if I also set the section switches. It's been a while since I've operated this, so I've got to get back used to it. There we go. This is live TV, folks. Warts and all. I don't edit out the wrongdoings. Well, most of them anyway. Right, with that out of the way, I'm going to reset that point, and we're going to get the Class 25 back out. So set the points. This time I will set the section switches, and hopefully we should be yep. Right, so I think the next thing is let's have some action with a parcels train. Right, so what I'm going to do here is use the 08 to cross the line and eventually pull out these two parcels wagons. It'll then move them into the middle loop road of the station area, which means the parcel train coming in can then pull into the bay and reverse its coaches into the parcel depot before taking away the empties. Well, that's one of the great things about layout like this. You can really immerse yourself in some operation, and one day I might actually get myself a timetable, which would be quite an interesting way to operate it. But nevertheless, it's a good shunting puzzle in many ways. So we'll move this on in a minute. Right, so what I'm going to do with the parcels is to use this 08 shunter to cross the line, go into the parcel shiding, pull these two parcel vans out into the bay, then reverse them out onto the main line and pull them into the loop road. And that will free up the bay and the parcel siding for the incoming parcel train just to pull into the bay and then reverse its parcel wagons into that siding, and then it can release itself and eventually pull away with the empties. That's the theory anyway. Let's see how we get on. First things first, let's set the points for the 08. Now you might be wondering why I've got sort of 2 studs for this 3-way point on each of the diverging rows. And that's basically because I didn't have any diodes to produce a diode matrix to control it. So I've wired it such that if you hit the 2 studs in the direction you want, the point sets itself the right way, because there are 2 point motors obviously under the 3-way point. Anyway, let's see if we can get this 08 out. Well, that's hopeful. Beautiful runners, these Hornby 08s. The real thing didn't do much more than about 10 or 12 miles an hour, so this is absolutely ideal. Right, we'll set the points to get it into the bay. You'll have to excuse the shake on the camera. It's difficult controlling everything and the camera. Right, so we now change that point. We'll change the direction on the controller. So hopefully beautiful. You do see sometimes locos being rammed into wagons and coaches, which if you can get it slow and easy, nice and easy like that, it does make a lot of difference. So we're clear of that point, so all we need to do is change that point back. And change the controller direction. Hope nothing derails. Right, clear of the 3-way point. So we'll set up the road for that, make sure the section switches are on, and then change the direction. And you can really get yourself immersed into operation like this. It really does make life quite interesting. It's a bit of a thoughtful process. So we've got that there. I could really do with a third arm on hand just to... Right, that's uncoupled that. We'll run the shunter into that stub platform. And we'll park it up and we'll isolate it by turning the section off. Now we'll go and sort out the parcel train which is coming in. Right, I've set the line for this incoming parcel train hauled by this Helgen Class 33. Let's see how we get on. See where I pass my test as a signal person. We've avoided crashing into the bumper, or the buffers even. So let's set the point and reverse the train in. That's nice. So all we've got to do now is release the loco. take it forward to clear the point. It's cleared the point, so we can now bring it out, having changed the point. And it's cleared that three-way point, so it's now going to back onto the wagons in the loop. And with those attached now, we'll just reverse it a little bit further. Just clear the lines, and we'll park it up there for the moment because there's going to be another train, passenger train coming in. So the other train coming in now is a 3-car DMU on a local service. Bachmann model, beautiful runner, bit dusty, but will get the attention of Mrs. Woody's makeup brush in a bit. So that's pulled in there. So what we're going to do now is isolate the sections. We're going to change the points, which will enable the Class 33 and the parcels train to get out of here once I've set the fiddle yard points. So, section switch on. And it's worked this time. There is a Hornby uncoupler just there, which enables me to sometimes automatically uncouple. Doesn't always work, but that's the story of my life. So there you have it. That's just a small section of the movements you can do with this layout, and it becomes quite absorbing and fascinating. You can sort of spend just a few minutes running a DMU in and running it out, or you can have an hour with your make-believe timetable, and as I hope I've shown you with a control panel with section switches and stud and probe point control, it can become quite involved, and you've got to think about what you're doing. Certainly I probably wouldn't make a signal person, but there you go. At least with a model railway, if you do have an accident, it's not too tragic. You may be wondering what the future of this layout is, given that I've got a man cave with a big roundy layout. One of my thoughts was possibly to connect it into that. That's why I built a couple of spurs off the main line, or I might just keep it as it is in here. Obviously I've got to do a few things. You can see I've got my LED lighting just basically clipped and blue tacked to the shelf above. I've also got all my other rubbish built up over the years. That's a truck which needs finishing, a few other trucks which I've built over the years, armoured fighting vehicles, and as you'd expect, I do have a Woody. That's the car, not the I am the Woody, but that's the car. There's all sorts of things in here, and as you can see, it's the type of thing where I can really absorb myself if I had the time. Unfortunately, Mrs. Woody has a lot of ideas about projects for me to do, so my time is limited, but it will get better over the years as I manage to achieve some of those other projects. And I'll just give you a hint of something else which floats around down there, which is an N-gauge layout, and obviously that's covered in a lot of detritus of other stuff, but that will eventually one day in one form or another be another of my projects. Anyway, before I do go, I'll just give a quick shout out to Dillington Model Railway. Have a look at their channel. I'll put a link in the description. Grandfather and grandson. Beautiful little layout they've got, and scenically wise, it's absolutely full of details and cameos and various other things which you're just amazed at. Grandson obviously has quite an ability with video making, and his latest video is basically a rock concert in a Metcalfe castle. So have a look at that. This is where the life of model railways is going with young people. They're full of abilities, and they're taking the hobby in a new direction, and I'm good for that. Anyway, it's enough of me rambling on. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you found this of interest. I may well do another video on this, either a little bit more about the operation, or perhaps some progress I might make on it. It requires a lot more detailing yet. But anyway, thanks for watching. You take care of yourselves, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you very much, especially to those people who subscribed. I still find it somewhat remarkable that what I have to say and show is of interest to people, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Take care of yourselves. Bye.